So we're going to discuss from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 2, text number 61. Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asit matparaha vashe hi yasyendriyani. भाई मिल जाएगा प्रसाद 9 बजे, थोड़ी आवाज तो निकालो। मिलेगा मिलेगा 9 बजे मिलेगा प्रसाद, घबराई मत। तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। क्या फाइल नहीं आप लोगों के पास आई क्या? तो यहाँ का वृंदावन कनेक्ट कर लीजिए। एनीवेज अगेन विल चैंट तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। So please chant. तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. So let us read the word meanings. Tani, those senses, sarvani, all, samyamya, keeping under control, yuktaha, engaged, asita, should be situated, matparaha, in relationship with me, vashe, in full subjugation, he, certainly, yasya, one whose, indriyani, senses, tasya, his, pragya, consciousness, pratisthita, fixed. Translation: one who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me is known as a man of steady intelligence. So before we go forward for commentary, let us try to understand the shloka. Tani sarvani sanyamya. Tani sarvani means all those senses he controls. Now if you remember yesterday's discussion, we have mentioned the senses are so powerful. Haranti indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. You remember this line? So indriyas, the senses, are so powerful and they are so mad for sense gratification that even if a person is vipaschit, a person is trying to control his senses, still they steal his mind away. Okay? So now that especially qualifies this person. Tani sarvani sanyamya. So those pramathini senses, those mad senses, all these senses are controlled by the sthit pragya. Are you able to appreciate this quality? All the senses are so difficult to control that even if a person wants to control, his mind is taken away by force by the senses, by even one sense. And here the Lord is saying, Tani sarvani sanyamya. He is able to control all the senses. Very interesting. And not only that, he just situates himself in controlling it, and you must be remembering it that the answer to all these questions, all these shlokas are answer to the question Kim asita, how he sits controlling his senses. You remember this? 6 shlokas will be answering that. So I think we are now third shloka answering that. So not only that he restrains his senses from sense gratification, apart from that, most important point is yukta asit mat paraha. He is yukta asit. He's situated, he should be situated in engaging his senses in Krishna's service. Yukta, you understand? Join. Join. Yoga means join. Same thing is yukta. So yukta means he's sitting. Sitting means he's situated while all his senses are engaged in Krishna's service. Can you understand? Is this very easy to understand? I am speaking, so my tongue is engaged. You are also engaging your ear to hear about Krishna, your mind to understand the philosophy, your eyes to see the shloka. Your body is not going anywhere else right now. It is just focusing on Bhagavad Gita. So are you a yukta or not? Yes. So since morning we are practicing this yukta only. And it's amazing that this is the real secret. If your senses remain engaged in Krishna's service, they don't have time to engage in service of Maya. This is that's why these shlokas are not simply to be understood, but they have to be applied. And this will have a very great bearing. Mat paraha. A person may have external control over his senses, but unless he's actually yukta, unless he's actually engaged in Krishna's service, he's actually not sense controlled. And this point you please remember, because this is we're going to see in the commentary of Srila Prabhupada. Unless a person he may externally control senses, but unless there is real engagement of the senses in Krishna's service, person is not actually self-controlled. Externally he may be controlled, but not actually controlled. We'll see that very clearly in the purport. So this is the way we can control our senses, is to engage in Krishna's service. Now we have heard it so many times and it may appear very simple to us, but it's not so simple. This secret is not known to people, that we must engage our senses in Krishna's service. I'm repeating it again and again, we are influenced by false ego, because influenced by the desire to enjoy, we have not engaged our senses in Krishna's service since how long time? Amarnath Prabhu, how long time we have not been engaging in Krishna's service? How much time has passed? You don't know? Is that the answer? Beginningless time. Beginningless time. Yes. So, Vashehi Yasyendriyani. He is a word which is used for avadharana, for emphasizing. If a person is like this, who is engaging in Krishna's service and his senses are controlled, then all his senses are controlled, then definitely you must understand his pragya is pratishthit. Pratishthit means it's unshakable. His consciousness is fixed in fixed in Krishna. Okay. You can see it pratishthit, you can see it clarified. If the consciousness is clarified, then we naturally, as the devotees were giving review yesterday, by chanting Hare Krishna, they are understanding that the goal of my life is to attain Krishna's feet. It's not simply a matter of speaking, but actually understanding it and working upon it. So as our heart becomes clearer and clearer, in the beginning we must hear, oh, the goal of life is to, goal of life is to attain Krishna's feet. Yeah, okay, yeah. Nice philosophy, nice. Not for me. Not for me, for others. But as we become purified, then we understand, it is for me. I must work hard. It is for me. Others also, but for me. Like that. Gita Bhushan commentary. Even for those who have conquered the senses, realization of Atma is not known. What is the method for realizing the Atma? So now you realize what is the method for realizing Atma? Fixing the mind, fixing the senses on Krishna. I'm again and again repeating, because I know devotees don't get it immediately in one sense. We are not able to realize ourselves because we have not engaged our senses in Krishna's service. It is because of forgetfulness of our relationship with Krishna that we are also forgetful of our real identity. समझ में आ गया? Okay. Certain points have to be repeated again and again. अच्छा भी समझ में आ गया. पहले भी वही बात बोली थी. Earlier also the same point was mentioned. But when we repeat again and again, then it gets fixed in the mind. So you must remember, if we don't engage our senses in Krishna's service, again Swarupa will not manifest. So you are here very clearly saying mat paraha. Unless a person engages in Krishna's service, he cannot realize himself. So if a person is saying I am self-realized, but is not a devotee of Krishna, So he's simply a bluffer. If you see his sense, if he's saying, I am worshipper of Nirakar, finished. Bluff. And there are so many people who are bluffing in this material world, especially in this age. Having completely controlled all the senses, fixing himself in devotion to me, Matparaha, he will remain situated or asita with full samadhi directed to Atma or Yuktaha. So now you can, this is very simple and easy to understand. He does not allow his senses to engage in sense gratification, and he constantly engages his senses in Krishna's service. So now he gets deeper and deeper realizations of soul. So now something very interesting. See, in the beginning, I may hear I am soul, not the body. And I may be intellectually convinced also. And that's very good. But as you keep on practicing bhakti, as we have heard from the spiritual master, bhaktya srutagrahitaya, then you begin, then the real nature of the soul begins to evolve. Are you able to appreciate what I'm trying to say? Then we actually realize I am not this body, full of stool, urine and all those things. Actually, this awareness remains that I am not this body. So naturally you want to engage more and more, or rather exclusively in Atma activities, not in body activities. I'm going slow so that you can appreciate what I'm trying to say. In the beginning, you may hear, and no, my parents are there, I must take care of them, my wife is there. Not I'm just saying in third person, somebody's wife may be there, I have to do this, I have to do this. But if you do nice sadhana, then as your consciousness gets purified, you become to realize more and more, I am Krishna's servant. My foremost duty, or not foremost, exclusive duty is to serve him. I have wasted so many lives with serving Maya, and so many parents and so many family members and so many this and that. We are not saying you don't serve them, but don't serve them out of Krishna consciousness. Don't serve them to the extent that you lose your own Krishna consciousness. We have to, I don't want to repeat this, but we have to always understand the balanced view. As a devotee, we want to serve everybody, but in a Krishna conscious way. Does it make sense? In other words, by the power of devotion to me, while maintaining control of the senses, the person will very easily attain a vision of the Atma. So two things, what are the two formulas you are learning? Engage our senses in Krishna's service and keep them disengaged from sense gratification, even if they want. And if you must be noticing, almost all the devotees who have joined our online temple, I mean, if you just follow the whole schedule with the devotees, like waking up at 3:30 and then like how much time? 9 o'clock, almost how much? 6 hours? 5.5 or 6 hours are passed now. And again, you start evening 6:30. Obviously, for 6:30, you need to take your dinner, let's say like around 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, something like that. And in between, you do something to maintain yourself or whatever, some service. So you must be feeling that holy name and Krishna Katha is kind of eclipsing your life, is covering your life. Is it not? And if actually a person has this, like you have to think about job or something, but it may be side by side, 50% job, 50%, I don't know how much is there in your mind. But if you actually think about, I actually may not need to do a job, and let me give myself fully to, like, you don't have to do a job, is it not? You don't have to, you're thinking like that, to you must do a job. Then you will see it will just going to eclipse your consciousness, just like Maya is covering our consciousness. Maya covers the consciousness of a conditioned soul. मैं समझा पा रहा हूँ मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ? Just like Maya completely covers the awareness of a conditioned soul and constantly makes him engaged in one sense gratification after another, a devotee, in his consciousness is eclipsed by this service attitude. Krishna graha grahit atma. नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं. One service after another. Once obviously you have to give rest to the body and all those things. But one service after another, he wants to remain engaged in that way, in like a program, day after day after day. Yeah, we don't have time to think anything else.
like Prabhupada gives package.
So don't underestimate what Srila Prabhupada has given. If you actually follow the whole morning program, you will feel so much recharged. And then again, evening. It's not an ordinary thing. You just check how many people in your city are discussing Bhagavad Gita now. How many people in your city or in India, as a matter of fact, discussing Bhagavatam in the evening? How many devotees are doing it? Leave alone the normal people. How many devotees in temple are doing it? Leave alone the outside devotees. And how many people who are doing it are really putting at their consciousness to understand it, not doing it merely as a formality.
Yes.
So you think about it. Then we understand the potency of modern program. But we have to invest our consciousness in it. Then we get the results. आप समझ रहे हैं ना मेरी बात? The more the nature of Atma evolves, you want to engage only as Atma. That's like now we are engaged as Atma, not as body. Through the body, engage in Atma activities. Make sense?
With the help of body.
Through the body we are doing bhakti, but bhakti is a function of Atma, not of the body. Are you able to appreciate these subtle points? And it becomes, how to say, Vyasan. Vyasan is called a bad habit. It becomes a habit you can't do without it. Just like 8 a.m., what do you think? Bhagavad Gita class? You don't do anything else. What I should do now? And remember those days when we were not devotees and we'll wake up in the morning. Kya kare aaj? Is it not? You remember those days? What I should do today? It's such a boring day, no? Oh, kya serial aayega? You know, all those boring serials, you know. What a wonderful life. Actually, we are happy. Actually, if you think about it, we are actually happy. Doing same things over and over again. Why I'm saying this? It is related to the Tika comment again. By doing this again and again, by engaging our senses again and again, the Lord becomes pleased. Hear very carefully. Our ignorance is in the heart. And ignorance, samajhana, and avidya is in our heart. So the Lord becomes pleased when we chant and hear about Him. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam and Pujanam. These 4 things if we do for Krishna, Vishnu, He becomes pleased. And what gifts He gives to us? He switches on the light of our room. Now you understand? And that's what the shloka here is quoted by Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Yathagnir uddhata shikha kaksham dahati shanilaha tatha chitta stito Vishnu yoginam sarva kilbhisham. Very clearly, tatha chitta stito Vishnu. Chitta means consciousness. The Lord Vishnu is situated within our consciousness. So then, but He keeps quiet. Only when we begin to render service to Him, even unknowingly, then He begins to switch on the light of our room. Just as fire with upraised flames, assisted by the wind, burns dry wood, Vishnu, situated in the heart, burns up all the sins of the yogis. Vishnu Puran 6.7.74. So we have put our photo here. Your heart is on fire. Maybe the purport given by materialist will be different to this. My heart is burning. Maybe his heart is burning out of lust. But what we have, what our purport is, all the darkness of the heart and the sins will be burned by Lord Vishnu. But you must remember, the example is given of wood and fire. So for getting the fire out of wood, you have to rub the wood, is it not? So you have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare. This is the rubbing, Gharshan. Then hear about from Bhagavad Gita, take prasadam, do something, work hard. Then Lord Vishnu will clear all the things from the heart. You will see that, and you must be noticing, Are what desire kahan gayi? So many material desires just get vanquished. Just like your parents must have tried to keep you in your home very lovingly and with so many tricks, is it not? But could you feel something was pulling you to Vrindavan, Vipin Prabhu? Is it not? That's Krishna. Did I pull you? Krishna pulls. And that's how it is there. Before I go forward, I want to say something very nice which I heard from Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The sound of Krishna's flute is manifested as the Hare Krishna mantra in the material world. So when we hear Hare Krishna mantra, just like the gopis become attracted naturally towards Krishna, the more we hear Hare Krishna, the more our mind will go towards Krishna. He will pull. The more our heart becomes purified, Krishna will pull more. This is very nice. So he will burn all the bad things from our heart if we hear and chant about Krishna. Okay? This is the most important thing. And did you notice Prabhupada is for a normal devotee from 4:30 to 9 is only Shravanam and Kirtanam. Have you ever thought about it? How much emphasis is for every devotee to follow this procedure? And when we don't do it, we tend to forget that by Shravan Kirtan, by hearing and chanting, we make 99% of the progress.
Most powerful.
Most is amazing. And all throughout Bhagavatam, you'll hear this one, Shravanam Kirtanam, Shravanam Kirtanam. The last line of the verse clarifies, this is the situation of the Sthita Pragya with control of the senses. This answers the question, how does the Sthita Pragya remain situated with sense control? Kim Asita. So you understand, he is satisfied with his sense engagement, with his Krishna conscious sense engagement. So he does not want to engage in sense gratification. Have you noticed something very interesting about the sense gratifiers? They actually get bored. They will become very enthusiastic for a particular sense gratification and afterwards they become bored.
It is like
I give a very gross example in this regard. I heard it that in this corona, people have beaten their wives. They become frustrated and they actually beat their wives. Some of them, I'm not saying everybody, some of them. And with so much enthusiasm, he must have got married, is it not? Have you thought about it? With so much of enthusiasm, people get married. But afterwards, they had so much fight with the wives. Same wives, is it not?
yes.
Not that he does. It's not that he does fights with outside wives. He was his own wife. That is the nature of sense gratification. That it makes your heart bored. It is boring. People say we'll work very hard. Then why don't you work hard on Sunday also? If you are actually happy doing your work, first of all, you should not do for money. First of all, this is the point. Okay, even if you do for money, then you should be satisfied with whatever money you is provided. Why you want a salary raise every time? Have I ever demanded in 13 years, give me some salary? What I just little bit demand, give me some dal chawal. Is it not maximum? दाल चावल तो मांग ही रहे हो ना, इतना तो मांगेंगे भाई. Little bit dal chawal, some prasadam, little bit close to wear, and we become so, our enthusiasm increases for serving Krishna. Do you feel that in your japa there are so many thoughts coming to serve Krishna? Is it not? And for none of those service you are going to get paid. I'm talking about devotees especially. Is it not? So that means the love for the Lord is increasing. It's not coming down. Do you feel, Amarnath, it happens? So I'm just trying to say it is a natural, we must be able to see this point so that we do not become allured by Maya into boring sense gratification program. Boring समझ में आ रहा है ना आपको? Boring. Because if it will not touch my soul, it will just bore me out. Any kind of sense gratification. Just like yesterday, I was a little sick, little stomach upset. So I wanted to do some sense gratification. I said, okay, now I have justified reason to sleep as much as I want. I did not put any alarm. I said, okay, let me sleep. But after whatever time I slept, I could not sleep more. It's just boring. Kitna soega? Today I said, normally I cannot sleep, but today I am sick. I have full justification towards Krishna. Krishna, I am sick. I must sleep. But then you went bored how much you can sleep. पता है ना, कभी बुखार जाए तो everybody comes and tells you, take rest. Oh, don't want to hear this taking rest. I am older taking rest. How much rest I can take? So anyways, I'm just saying that we become enthusiastic and enlivened by serving Krishna. So we don't change. Have you noticed we have not changed the program? Same day. Rather we including more things. Earlier was only Japa, then was Mangal Aarti, then there's Guru Puja, now is class and everything. Yes, Prabhuji, I know you people are like this only, trapping us. Yeah. And on Ekadashi, 18 hours of Japa, what is this? But devotees become more enthusiastic. Makes sense? So be convinced, the more you serve Krishna, the more you'll be happy. Actually, intelligent person, I'm repeating again and again, just you can maintain yourself. Just maintain yourself. and have maybe 4 or 5 hours. I think Bhavanandani Mataji is one devotee. She works for 4 hours and gets 25,000 rupees. Very intelligent. And nothing she has to do much. 4 hours is nothing, is it not? 4 hours she has to go 12 to 4 and gets 25,000. That's good enough for a devotee. Even now, is it at Ajmer? I said, don't give up your job. This is good. 4 hours. 4 घंटे में अगर 25,000 मिल रहा है तो क्या दिक्कत है? Is it not? Not much. And 12 o'clock you finish your job, your sadhana, everything. By 4 o'clock again you come back, again you can hear about Krishna consciousness. So be intelligent. Really save your time, human form of life for practicing Krishna consciousness. Anyways, this is very important. That the highest conception of yoga perfection is Krishna consciousness is clearly explained in this verse. So the Lord has explained Matpara. And unless one is Krishna conscious, it is not at all possible to control the senses. Now we'll discuss these points. We have highlighted here, and in this light we will discuss the purport. Beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. As cited above, the great sage Durvasa Muni picked a quarrel with Maharaj Ambrish. And Durvasa Muni unnecessarily became angry out of pride and therefore could not check his senses. So why I am saying this? First of all, picked up a quarrel. This I would like to speak on the word picking up a quarrel. You know the meaning of this phrase, picking up a quarrel? There is no need for quarrel. But you pick up something. It is lying here undisturbed and you pick up something. That's what is the meaning of pick up. So picking up a quarrel means he had no reason to fight with Ambrish Maharaj. क्या कहते हैं उसको आ बैल मुझे मार, unnecessary he had trouble over himself. I repeat this again and again because you must be noticing simply by silence we can avoid so many quarrels.
Yes.
Simply by silence. And you will realize by quarreling I did not gain anything except a broken relationship. Do you agree? Just keep quiet. Practice it today. Just keep quiet. Just keeping quiet is so nice. Only, Prabhuji, why you are speaking so much? Why are you speaking so much every day? That is for Krishna. For Krishna, you can talk all day, 24 hours. But otherwise, just keep quiet. Yes, yes, yes. Now, you may say yes, not listen, not do what they say. In your parents also. Why are you waking me in the morning? Yes, 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 yes. Why are you taking bath in the morning? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Prabhupada says in one of the purport, even a grahastha, the wife says, we need this, we need that, we need this. Yes, yes, yes. But don't do anything. Yes, yes, yes. Don't do. Then they will understand, तो कुछ करने वाला नहीं है. They will give up. But don't quarrel. This really works very nice actually. Don't quarrel. So he unnecessary. And how much trouble he had to suffer. Have you ever got burned? We never reflect on these past times. All of us have got burned. Now, how long we got burned? Maybe for a fraction of a second. And how long Durvasa Muni had to get burned? 1 year constantly with the tej of Sudarshan Chakra, which he could not avoid also. Just imagine being next to sun. You don't meditate on this pastime. What is the meaning of being close to sun? Now you understand how much you have to suffer? Just because of some I will use the word stupidity. Now if you meet Ambrish Maharaj, would you not like to associate with him and hear Krishna Katha from him? Would you not like to touch his feet? Would you not like to say, Ambrish Maharaj, give us some mercy? And he just picked up some nonsense quarrel with Ambrish Maharaj. If you just meditate upon it, just stupidity. Pride is just stupid. No audio? Mataji, maybe you have not joined the audio. Audio is coming? Hare Krishna? Coming. Okay. Yeah. So, you will, as you keep on chanting, I'm very happy with the devotees, the way they are chanting. Because this chanting will open your consciousness and then you will see how simply because of pride, people are landing themselves into unnecessary trouble. You can actually see that. Unnecessary trouble. Just like Durvasa Muni here. So if you can just remain little bit humble, I'm not saying too much, but little bit humble, as a matter of duty, give respect to people and not expect respect as a matter of duty. you see our life becomes very easy. बहुत easy हो जाती. So you can see how Durvasa Muni is running behind and Chakra is running behind him. So you know the pastime, so I won't tell the pastime, but it was a big blunder which he made. Yeah, we have discussed yesterday. It's a very nice quotation. Sometimes it's hard to open your hand, but you need to. Can you see the photo here? He's holding on to this last, this fellow is holding on to his last hope with a plant. He may go down, but just this heavy pride is pulling him down. If he just gives up his pride, he can be helped. Not, no. He's not happy. He's not happy. This fellow is crushing his teeth. He does not want to give up his pride. Very interesting. You could have same Durvasa Muni. Look at the Durvasa Muni. He ran for 1 year, suffering. And what was the cause? He understood, because I offended Amrish Maharaj. So could he not fall down at the feet of Amrish Maharaj? I made a mistake. But holding to our pride, holding to his pride, he had to suffer. And ultimately he had to give up his pride. You understand my point? So so this is the point. My Guru Maharaj told this point. Pride does not come before fall down. Pride is fall down. Make sense to you? Pride is fall down. Wahi patan ho gaya. Because I am so insignificant, I should remain humble. And the more we remain humble, the more Krishna's hand can help us. You see, it's Krishna's hand. From the photo, you can see that. It's Krishna's hand who's actually helping us. Please take my help. But if we remain, obviously you are devotees, you are not like that. But if you remain, how to say, proud, oh, why should I take of Krishna's help? I am very powerful. Finished. And that's what the shloka speaks. Matparaha. Matparaha means he is humble. He accepts himself as Krishna's servant and he serves Krishna. Never become so senior that you cannot serve prasadam to devotees. Please never become so senior. Never become so senior that if you are asked, please clean the toilets. Oh, I am so senior, I cannot. Ayendra Prabhu used to clean the toilets at 1 o'clock in the night so that nobody will know.
That keeps us humble.
We must keep ourselves humble. Any service, any simple service must be done on a regular basis. Something must be done. And those Matajis who are in their home, you must serve your parents very humbly. Your mother and father. Do so, and you will be they will also surprise. This girl was never serving us. What happened to her? They will ask you, what is this? What has happened to you? I give a small example. Srila Prabhupada told to Brahmanand Prabhu that when you go to your home, you should pay obeisances to your mother. It's because she has given you this body by which you can serve Krishna. So both of them, Brahmanand Prabhu and Gargamuni Prabhu, they went to the home. So the mother, they knocked the door, the mother opened the door and they paid obeisances. So the mother was shocked what they are doing. And it's funny, when they paid obeisances, they did not do any Pranam mantra. They were saying, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishta. They were saying the Pranam mantra of Srila Prabhupada. But it's a culture, is it not? Like I never fight with my mother at all. At all. If I have to give her correction, I give her correction in a very loving way. Mataji, don't do like this. But never, I don't fight with her. She's a devotee. And even if she's not a devotee, we should never fight with our mother or father. Never ever. You will see Prahlad Maharaj how much respectful he was to Hiranyakashipu. He was not listening to Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was saying, don't worship Vishnu. That he was not doing. But he was always respectful. Asuravari Dehina, oh, best among the demons. Yes, I am the best among the demons. Like that. Make sense? This culture of respect must descend into our heart. We see? Then we can advance very nicely. On the other hand, the king, although not as powerful a yogi as the sage, but a devotee of the Lord, silently tolerated all the sage's injustices and thereby emerged victorious. So Srila Prabhupada is now clarifying his point which he mentioned in the yesterday's purport, how he emerged victorious. Now it's amazing, the word is victorious, so you may say, was there some quarrel? Was there some fighting? Not from the side of Amrish Maharaj. So sometimes a devotee may think, if I remain humble, who will protect me? Krishna will protect you. Now obviously, humble doesn't mean foolish. It's not that we have to put our neck on somebody's firing range or something like that. But a devotee has faith that Krishna will protect. Natural faith, and the faith will grow as he advances in Krishna consciousness. Amrish Maharaj's first faith was like this: that if Krishna wants to kill me, fine. Who can protect me? And if Krishna wants to protect me, who can kill me? And that's actually a fact. We don't have to become stupid by hearing these statements. When we are crossing the road, we need to look at that traffic. It's very dangerous. When I say A, people may understand B. I'm not saying that. Devotees are fearless but not foolish. Make sense to you? We eat food, we take medicine, all those things are there. And we must understand all those things are also Krishna's help to us. समझ रहे हैं मेरी बात? The king was able to, but the whole point was, now something very interesting. Oh, I missed this point. Little bit so-called offense to Durvasa Muni and he could not tolerate. He fell down to the temptation of pride and anger. Can you see from the past time? Little bit. And it was not even an offense. He how we say in the word, he conjured the offense. You know, the conjured means imagined. He imagined that this was an offense. And Amrish Maharaj was heavily offended and he did not take anything of this offense. So we have heard it so many times, but we must meditate upon these things. Many times we also conjure offenses. बहुत अपराध किया मेरे प्रति, इसीलिए पतन होगा उसका. I'm not pointing to you. I'm just saying. We think like this. Makes sense? He did not give me Rasgulla. I know. He's very offensive. So then, what is your tolerance? What is your Vaishnavta? Heavy things. The king was able to control his senses because of the following qualifications as mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada is 9.4.18-20. Prabhupada is picking up the words Matparaha. Mat means Krishna, me, and Para means dedicated to me. Matparaha means dedicated to me. That word will be explaining that word. Srila Prabhupada is quoting the shloka here very carefully. You can chant after me. Savai manaha Krishna padar vindayor vachansi vaikuntha gunanu varnane karau harer mandir marjanadishu Srutim chakara chut satkathodaye. अरे 15 मिनट है प्रसादम में, थोड़ा आवाज तो निकालो. मुकुंद लिंगालय दर्शने दृशौ तदभृत्य गात्रा स्पर्शयंग संगमम घ्राणम च तत्पाद सरोज सौरभे श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसनाम तदर्पिते पादौ हरे क्षेत्र पदानुसर्पणे शिरो ऋषिकेश पदाभिवंदने कामं च दास्ये न तु काम कामया यथोत्तम श्लोक जनाश्रय रतिः सवै मनः कृष्ण पादार विंदयो. Amrish Maharaj fixed his mind in Krishna. This is called how you become matparaha, because you will think, oh, how can I become Sthitapragya? Formula is matparaha. You engage in senses in Krishna's service. How did he do it? He engaged his mind in thinking of Krishna. Vachansi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane, he used his tongue to glorify Krishna. Vaikuntha means Krishna also, Vishnu. Karau Harer Mandir Marjanadashu, he used his hand to clean the temple of the Lord. Now you may not be able to clean the temple of the Lord because of the nature of your services, but you can use your hand to make some accounting work, as like you are doing, or some other services. Use your hands. Like Advaita Acharya says, I have cooked for you, my Lord, so my hands are glorious. That's what I play Mridanga. I was playing Mridanga for Krishna. So my hands are glorious, and anybody's hands are glorious if we can play some mridanga for Krishna, or kartal for Krishna, or do other things by which your hands are engaged in Krishna's service. Engage. ठीक. Shrutim chakara chitasat kathodaya. But he engages ears in hearing about Krishna. Krishna Katha. Mukunda Lingalaya Darshane Drisho. He engages eyes in seeing the forms of the Lord, which is Vaishnavas and Krishna's deity form. Vaishnavas are also the very form of the Lord. By seeing a Vaishnava, we remember Krishna. Linga means chinha or sign. Just like when you see post box, so you remember post office also. Okay. Tadabhritya gatra sparshyang sangamam. He used his skin to touch the body of the devotees or touch their feet like that. Granam chatat pad saroj saurabhe. He used his grana, that means his nose, to smell the saroj means flowers offered to Krishna. Yeah. Saurabha means the fragrance of the flowers. So you see, everything is included in morning program. If you actually see that, how Prabhupada has included everything in the morning program. That's why nothing should be missed. Srimad Tulasya Rasanam Tadarpate. He tasted his rasana, that means by tongue. He tasted the tulsi which was offered to Krishna. It also means prasadam. It's not that he was only eating tulsi. Tulsi means tulsi and other prasadam, charanamrit, like that. Padav Hare Kshetra Padanu Sarpade. He uses legs to go to the Hari Kshetra, like going to a temple of the Lord. Now you may say, I am not staying in Vrindavan. So maybe you are staying near to ISKCON temple. You can go there like that. Or you can sometimes come to Vrindavan, do parikrama. All those things are engaging our legs in Krishna's service. Shiro Rishikesha Padabhivandane. This is very easy. He used his head to bow down in front of the lotus feet of Rishikesh. Okay. Kamam cha dasya natu kama kamya. Very interesting. He used his life's desire to engage in Krishna's service, not for sense gratifications. Yeah, to fulfill Krishna's desire. What is Krishna's desire? This preaching should happen all over the world. This message of the Lord must happen all over the world. You just amalgamate your desire with Krishna's desire. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Amaragya guru hoye tare ei desh. Then Prithvi te achiyat nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoy bimbaranam. In some way, engage your desires, all your desires, to fulfill the desire of the Lord. This is the mood of a servant. Yatha tumashloka janashraya rati. By this, he developed rati or love for the Lord. So this is a whole Vijnanic, scientific process, engaging your senses in Krishna's service, and very clearly described what we should be doing. And in that way, love for the Lord will manifest. Okay? And because he has love for the Lord, he could very easily conquer his senses. King Amrish fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, engaged his words in describing the abode of the Lord, his hands in cleansing the temple of the Lord, his ears in hearing the pastimes of the Lord, his eyes in seeing the form of the Lord, his body in touching the body of the devotee, his nostrils in smelling the flavor of the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, his tongue in tasting the tulsi leaves offered to him, his legs in traveling to the holy place where his temple is situated, his head in offering obeisances unto the Lord, and his desires in fulfilling the desires of the Lord. And all these qualifications made him fit to become a Matpara devotee of the Lord. Matpara, now you understand why Prabhupada is quoting this shloka? Yes. The word Matpara is most significant in this connection. How one can become a Matpara is described in the life of Maharaj Amrish. So this is nothing to explain here. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, a great scholar and acharya in the line of the Matpara, that means they're very quite interesting. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan is a pure devotee, Paramhans Vaishnav. So they are in the line of Matpara. That means all his spiritual master was a Matpara devotee, means dedicated devotee to Krishna, and his spiritual master was also a dedicated devotee, like that, very nicely. Acharya in the line of the Matpara remarks, Mad Bhakti Prabhavena Sarvendriya Vijaya Purvika Swatma Drishti Sulabheti Bhava. So you see how Srila Prabhupada is directly quoting Baldev Vidyabhushan, which I think all the people who must have read Bhagavad Gita even once might have never noticed also. Have you read Bhagavad Gita at least once? Amarnath? Oh, you are out of question. Anish? Okay. Anybody else? Some chapters. So it's good that we are reading Bhagavad Gita. At least with us, you will read the whole Bhagavad Gita at least once in a life before we leave the body. You know, that's also. So what to talk of Bhagavatam? People have not even read Bhagavad Gita fully. Akash, have you read Bhagavad Gita fully? Yes. Did you notice this? No. And not only that, sometimes people ask, who is Baldev Vidyabhushan? As if I'm quoting some strange acharya, you know, like that. So very nice. So you hear this. Mad Bhakti Prabhavena. If you know Hindi, you can very easily pick up. Mad Bhakti Prabhavena. By the influence of my Bhakti. Sarvendriye Vijay Purvika. By conquering all the senses. Swatma Drishti Sulabheti. The vision of Atma becomes very easily manifested to him. Iti bhava. This is the bhava. So you understand now how we may think, how will we actually realize ourselves? Very easily formula is given. These acharyas have done this, and that's why they're called acharyas. They are not the acharyas who pay money to get the title of acharya. They're actually following it. They have done bhakti and they have realized their sarupa by this. Obviously, they are self-realized from the beginning on. But that's very simple. Sulabha. Now why Sulabha? Because the way Amrish Maharaj has conquered his senses is natural for any conditioned soul. Whatever activities Amrish Maharaj has done, can any one of you not do? Can any one of you not do? Can you taste prasadam? Yes. Can you smell the flowers? Yes. Can you, obviously, Prabhuji, only to Prabhuji. Can you touch the Prabhujis? Yes. Can you see the Prabhujis? No, I don't like to see the devotees. No. No, we can see them. Can you see Krishna form? Yes. That's why the word is Sulabha. It's very easy. And then, as the love for the Lord becomes manifest, we see Krishna and we see ourselves. I am so disappointed that many devotees don't understand the procedure of bhakti. It's actually very simple. I'm seeing it so many times. They just waste their energy, human form of life, after coming to Krishna consciousness and stupid talks and discussing stupid issues. I only use the word stupid. Same tongue can be used for chanting Hare Krishna, discussing Bhagavad Gita, and you see what amazing benefit. Right now, when we are discussing Bhagavad Gita, ignorance, Krishna is clearing our ignorance in the heart. And the fact is, all those who are coming are very eager to come every day. In time. Otherwise, if there was no love for the Lord, why would you be coming so eager to hear about Bhagavad Gita? So this just has to be increased. Kuch naya nahi karna hai. Don't do anything new. Prabhupada put it very nicely. There is enough tapasya. Don't create your own. The senses can be completely controlled only by the strength of devotional service to Krishna. Also, the example of fire is given sometimes. As a blazing fire burns everything within a room, Lord Vishnu, situated in the heart of the yogi, burns up all kinds of impurities. This we found in the commentary itself, we have discussed that. The Yoga Sutra also prescribes meditation on Vishnu and not meditation on the void. So this is very important. Many times people, they are doing, most of the time, I would say, what words I would use, 99.9% or even almost 100% people don't know that they have to meditate on Krishna. ये जितने भी ध्यान शिविर लग रहे हैं भगवान विष्णु पे भी ध्यान करते हैं. Have you just reflect upon it? Hundreds of people come, they want to do dhyan, but nobody tells you do dhyan on Krishna. People are actually helpless.
When they are meditating on Om, but they don't know what.
Even if they meditate on Om, they don't know that Om is Krishna. That's why there is a lot of need to spread this knowledge, because it's not that everybody is a sense enjoyer. Even in India, people actually want to know about God in a pramanik, proper way. So we must, crack our brain? Storm our brain, how we can spread this knowledge. Everything else, my dear devotees, what you're doing is boring. Whether you're taking care of your family, whether you're doing your job, is all boring. Actually boring. And this kind of shallow thinking, बस मेरा परिवार चल जाए, somehow that my family should run, is actually boring. It's actually boring. You may actually agree with me, you may despise me, I don't care. It's actually very boring. And the difficulty with Indians is, in general, they have this attitude, हमने जप कर लिया, हमारी भक्ति हो गई बस. We have done our bhakti. We are not following all the rules and regulations. Fine, fine, fine. But we are not supposed to preach to others. I'm not saying all the Indians are like this. I'm just saying general trend is this. We'll come to Sunday program and then we give a donation and we do a charity and finish. And we chant a 16 round and this is. That's why I want to educate more and more devotees so that they can further educate more and more devotees, and many devotees are doing. I'm happy with it also. The so-called yogis who meditate on something other than the Vishnu form simply waste their time in a vain search after phantasmagoria, because if they are not meditating on Vishnu, first of all, who can clean the heart? Krishna. So if you don't meditate on Krishna, Krishna will say, okay, you don't please me, I will not stop, I will not give you supply, so to speak. I will not supply knowledge to you. We must remember, Krishna is the person who gives knowledge from within. For sense enjoyment also and for liberation also. So unless we please him, no chance. Anything, whatever a person may do, will not be bringing any fruition. Fruition means will not bring any fruits. And if we have heard about Krishna, we have chanted about Krishna, Krishna will surely reveal knowledge within our heart. We are always convinced, and you must be getting some realizations also in bhakti. Something must be getting. We have to be Krishna conscious, devoted to the personality of Godhead. This is the aim of the real yoga. Everything else is only pressing nose. So we shall stop here. What we learned from today's shloka was that a devotee controls his senses as a person who says pragya, and he engages his senses Krishna's service. As such a person can only be called sthita pragya. I'll just check up if there are some questions. Okay. Audio. Is chanting, hearing, reading about Krishna, worship Krishna and preach about Krishna is enough, or we must also be engaged in some practical service for Krishna? If you can fully engage in this, this is good enough. This is sufficient. But we also do practical services to facilitate this. Very, very good question, Keshav Sakha Prabhu. I'm offering you nice rasgulla in mind. Take it. Very good question. It reminds me of my spiritual master's instruction. Everything is devotional service if it is after hearing and chanting. If it is behind hearing and chanting. Can you catch this? Beautiful statement. Like this temple's accounts has to be managed. Why? Well, Kirtan is going on, prasadam distribution is happening, everything is happening. This is all service to Krishna. But if we don't manage accounts, then government will give us trouble. And even the temple will not be able to run properly. So to manage the accounts is also devotional service. Makes sense?
Yes.
Okay, now if I have to think which sound system I should install in temple, is it devotional service? And for that I will have to look into Amazon or all other things. If like I asked Keshav Sakha Prabhu to buy a laptop, not to watch a movie. So I said that you please buy a laptop so that you can join our meetings in laptop. But it's very easy and for Mataji also. So obviously you will have to search for a good laptop and all those things. Is it devotional service? Yes. For what you are doing it. I give an example. Terrorist is a terrorist. But those who help the terrorist are also terrorists. Now you agree? Somebody who is cooking for the terrorist, the army people will kill them also. Do you agree? They also catch them. Why are you helping the terrorist? They may have never blown up any bomb, but they help the terrorist, then they are also considered terrorists. Do support. Samajh rehna is baat ko. So in any activity, the goal should be to hear and chant about Krishna. If you don't take prasadam, can you hear about Krishna? Not long. Not long. And suppose my body was a little ill, so I had to go to a doctor to get my body, not my body, get this instrument fixed, get this body fixed, get this car fixed. I went to a mechanic. Now let us speak like this. We have to, because then otherwise how will I chant my rounds? Make sense? So engaging Krishna's service is very good. So we should have that attitude. Hearing and chanting is sufficient, but also other services have to be seen in relationship with hearing and chanting. They should not eclipse hearing and chanting. Then it is good management. Management is for facilitation of hearing chanting, not to stop hearing and chanting. That's why I always those who are under me, as far as possible, not give them any service in the morning, so that they can happily, peacefully chant Hare Krishna. Karnamrita Prabhu is doing because he wakes up 2 o'clock. And also I don't give him any service in the afternoon. 3 o'clock, finish. You close your shop and you sleep, whatever you want to do. You take rest, so that you can wake up early in the morning. And I've seen this makes the devotees always happy. If you complete your rounds nicely, you have sufficient opportunity to hear and chant, you want to do some service also. Okay? When you don't listen to parents, they treat it as disrespect only. I agree. But if your parents say you wake up for Mangalarti, then you should listen to them. Your parents are devotees. I am talking about those parents who are not devotees. Keshav Sakha Prabhu, I am supporting you. Don't worry. I am on your full support. Your father is a devotee. So if he tells you, wake up early in the morning and chant Hare Krishna, you must listen, because he is not telling you his advice. He is telling you the advice of Shastra. Then you should not say, yes, 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 and take out the kambal and sleep. No. I fully support Keshav Sakha Prabhu. So when the parent or your leader is a devotee and he tells you to wake up at Mangalarti and chant Hare Krishna and chant Japa and read Bhagavad Gita, that is for the good. When I'm saying A, you don't hear B. The problem is sometimes what we hear what we want to hear, not what we are supposed to hear. So Prahlad Maharaj was, if Hiranyakashipu was a devotee, you cannot imagine how much Prahlad Maharaj would have been obedient to him. You just cannot imagine. He was such a nice person. आप समझ रहे हैं मेरी बात? नहीं समझ में आ रहा है ना? If the teacher is telling you to become Krishna conscious, you must listen to him. समझ रहे हैं? But if he is saying, obviously, Keshav Sakha Prabhu is a devotee, he won't say like this. But if the parents are saying, no, go and eat meat, and if they are non-devotees, or watch a TV and watch like this, then we don't hear. Yes, then we don't listen. I think it's quite clear. Saroj means lotus, yeah. We have read before that Satogun also helps us in realizing Atma. Question. Here we understood that engaging our senses in Krishna's service, we can realize Atma. So what is the difference? You missed a small point, Mataji. We discuss in Bhagavatam, Sattvam Yad Brahma Darshanam. Fine. But not alone. Not alone. As we practice Krishna consciousness, as we come towards the stage of goodness, we definitely realize Atma, but not without bhakti. Because we have also heard from 10th canto of Brahmaji's statement, Shreyam Sritim Bhakti Mudasrate Vibho Klishyanti Ye Kevala Bodhalaptaye. Tesham Asau Kleshala Eva Shishyate Nanyadyatha Sthula Tushaghatinam. A person who is doing a lot of austerity, he may be so-called situated in goodness. It's like you see, Durvasa doing austerities. But if he gives up bhakti, he does not gain anything. Just like you beat husk, then you will get fine husk, but don't get any rice. Have you ever eaten something made from husk? Amarnath Prabhu. Can maybe some Matajis know something you can make from bhusa? No, nothing. So we'll only eat bhusa laddus if we give up bhakti. So without bhakti, nothing is there. Can we take here also the Parayan? Yeah, but we don't have time. Could complete 16 rounds today without disturbance after a long time, and also attend Bhagavad Gita class and complete exercise also, all this by the grace of Krishna and the positive energy of being with the devotees. Okay, this was a comment and appreciation. Thank you. Any other questions and comments? Okay. So we'll give you a blessing. Have prasadam. Okay, so have it, and we'll leave you and we'll catch you at 6:30 in the evening. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Sai Gaur Premanande.